respected dignitaries, guest of honors, special guests, awardees, friends, family, and our dear audience. On this beautiful note of Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, I welcome you all to begin the celebrations on the session 2 for the 75th birth anniversary of R.S. Gadgil, the revolutionary healthcare legend. On this auspicious occasion of 75th birth anniversary of my father, and coincidentally also Father's Day, let me take the opportunity and pride in introducing you to the legend of R.S. Gadgil. His magnanimity and live life king size is very well known. Brilliance, excellence, wisdom were words he exemplified. With deep thirst for knowledge of medicine and love for education, he pioneered continuing medical education in the country and empowered various associations like API, IMA, MAP, ICC, CSI, RSSTI, ASI, IOA, TraumaCon, VIROC, and doctors as well. Fostering relationships with love and care, he earned the most precious wealth of friends, colleagues, and extended family, like you all from all over the world. He always had a special place in his heart for the medical fraternity, the medical practitioners, who showered him with the immense love and respect, and he was held in high esteem amongst three generations of doctors. His 4 decades of long journey in healthcare started right from penicillin with towering success at companies like US Vitamins, Alchem, and Aristo. He became the revolutionary marketing guru of the Indian pharmaceutical industry. What the leader he was, he mentored, trained, taught many, and nurtured his teams by training, teaching science and MBA students for years. He wanted his students, his followers, to develop themselves, rise, and succeed. Having enormous passion for branding and profound knowledge of science and marketing, he created several top brands like Monosef, Flexon, Glycomet, EcoSprint, Gemcal, Nicocin, Ondem, Doxy1. The list is really endless. 20th and 21st June, we are celebrating his 75th birth anniversary, and he continues to be our guiding star even after more than 7 years of his loss. The deep pain of his loss, yet memories full of happiness, drive us every moment towards his deep purpose of reducing disease burden and achieving the health and happiness. True Wealth actually provides integrative health and personalized nutrition advice to control, prevent, and reverse lifestyle autoimmune diseases as well as infectious diseases to help reach the ultimate goal of holistic health and happiness. With, of course, our integrative health and nutrition clinics in several therapy areas with our internationally trained and experienced healthcare experts, and our integrated website, which helps us with online consult and spreading education and awareness as well. With that, of course, last but not the least, Energia, a division of RSG Nutrition and Healthcare, is developing responsible evidence-based nutrition formulations. Only is what I would say, targeting specific indications. That's what we have been doing, taking his vision forward. RS Gadgil always wanted to start the RSG Wisdom Forum. Humility, integrity, stewardship, discipline, courage, passion, perseverance, lot, of course, as the pillars. But the aim was to collect, decipher, and propagate the wisdom and excellence of legendary medical practitioners, leaders, and teachers from around the globe. He did that when he was living. He did that. He did great academic conferences and programs, and the idea was to enable the forthcoming generations to gain the in-depth expertise and experience to further excel and provide exclusive service to mankind in reducing disease burden and taking the wisdom and excellence legacy forward. I'm sure all the panelists present here truly believe in this and are doing that in their great way, and which is what we are trying to capture through this awards program today. A small clip of the earlier videos, earlier awards that were given. I have heard this from a lot of orthopedic doctors that you should not just call him Dr. Sanjay Desai. It is the Sanjay Desai, is what I've heard from a lot of his students and lot of orthopedic surgeons who are learning from him continuously. And to introduce him, I think I'm too small to do that, but in few words, he's a pioneer, a super specialist. He's trusted by the celebrities and he's revolutionized the shoulder surgery in the subcontinent. So he's, of course, very well known for it. And that is the reason why we have Dr. Acharya here, Dr. Pradeep Acharya, who's fully renowned anesthesiologist with a vast experience of 25 plus years. And he is here with us today to introduce Dr. Sanjay Desai, sir. Dr. Acharya, welcome. Please do the honors.
Hi there. I'm going to introduce my friend, Dr. Sanjay Desai. He's a consultant orthopedic surgeon specializing in knee and shoulders. He did his MBBS, D-Orth, MS in orthopedic from Tupiwala National Medical College and Nair Hospital, and was a gold medalist in D-Orth exams and stood second in the MS orthopedic exams. He did his MCH from Liverpool, where he got the Chenemphar Medal for clinical examination. He has multiple presentations in both international and national journals. He has been invited to conduct live workshops and demonstration surgeries in Barcelona, China, Manchester, Japan, South Korea, and Poland. He is a pioneer super specialist who has revolutionized shoulder surgery in the subcontinent. He was the founder member and the past president of the Shoulder Society of India, the immediate past president of Arthroscopic Society, and the current president of the Asian Shoulder Association. He received the Young Achievers Award in 2002, conferred by the Indo-American Society, received the Giant International Award 2016 for his contribution in the field of medicine, the recipient of the Most Inspiring Doctors Award by Economic Times in 2018, recipient of the prestigious B.C. Roy Award 2018, which is considered the highest award in medical sciences given by the President of India. He conducts a shoulder fellowship, which is a 6-month training program launched with the hope of training young orthopedic surgeons from different parts of the country. And he is actually now in a process of writing a book, Romancing the Shoulder, which will be of great help to postgraduate students and consultants interested in problems affecting the shoulder. He is attached to the Beach Candy Hospital, Just Lock Hospital and Research Center, Sir Reliance HN Reliance Hospital, Nanavati Hospital, Leelavati Hospital, and Bhatia Hospital. Well, being his anesthetist for the past 25 years, I have known him and I've been working with him, and it has been a great pleasure working together. Efficiency is doing the right things. And we learned this during our postgraduate training program. But to be effective, one has to do things right. And for this, one has to have a Sanjay Desai personality, and I'll tell you why. Firstly, he's satisfied with nothing less than the best for his patients. Remember, high achievement always takes place in a framework of high expectation. He himself is a perfectionist, and it is this perfectionist attitude that runs on to the other team members, may it be his assistants, his scrub nurse, or even the anesthetist like me. Secondly, he's an anesthetist-friendly surgeon. He always starts in time, finishes in time, and never complains about the bleeding or even the relaxation. During this surgery, his focus is 100% on the patient. There is no family talk, there is no casual talk, and there's definitely no mobile talk. Thirdly, he makes a very good captain of the ship because he's got a sixth sense that can identify a problem before it becomes an emergency. And fourthly, in every surgery, he studies the case thoroughly, goes into the depth of it, and subsequently he keeps a plan B along with plan A. So in case plan A fails, he always can fall back upon plan B. And with this attitude, we have been able to conduct even the most difficult of surgeries successfully over the period of 25 years. And finally, summarizing his personality in one sentence, in a matter of style, he swims with the current. but in a matter of principle, he will stand like a rock. Thank you, Rajeshri, for giving me this opportunity to talking about my friend. And I would like to hand it over to you so you can carry the program forward.
Well, it's absolutely a pleasure, and thank you for doing this. And I would like to thank Preeti Desai, madam, for actually helping us get you to do the honors instead of we actually introducing him. But just bear with me and give me the opportunity to share a few pictures so that the audience can actually know more about him. Shah Rukh Khan says that my dog Sanjay Desai is the coolest. Just feel like saying the responsibilities on my shoulder feel light because he's made it so strong. All these great personalities, and you know now why he's the Sanjay Desai from Dr. Acharya, and how a perfectionist he is in his surgeries. And these are the people. That's why they say you are in good hands. And of course, he has received so many awards that are commendable. With that, sir, the floor is open to you. We invite you on the virtual stage to share your journey and whatever you would like the audience to know to get inspired.
Respected Dr. S.K. Mathur, special guest, my good friend and senior colleague, Dr. Ram Prabhu, and Dr. Rekha Batkande, and real special thanks to my dear friend and anesthetist of many, many years, without whom I couldn't perform as well, Dr. Pradeep Acharya. And I, of course, cannot thank enough Rajeshri for giving me this opportunity. And she used the best possible way of convincing me to participate in this by contacting Neeti, my wife. And as you all know, I'm only a slave of my wife. So thank you once again. Though I did not have that much of an opportunity to interact with late Shri R.S. Gadgil, but I do know that he had a very special relationship, particularly with orthopedic surgeons. And we have had a sense of Mr. Gadgil through VIROC, TraumaCon. And honestly speaking, this slide won't be enough to fill up all his achievements and his vision. And it is such a pleasure to see Rajeshri following her father's footsteps, not only following his footsteps, but taking it beyond. And it's truly an honor to be part of this event. And thank you very much, Rajeshri, for considering me for this award. Now, these are some of the hospitals that I work in. And I stay not too far from the place where I work. So it's a short distance between my residence and the place I work. But honestly speaking, it's been a very, very long journey. So in my talk, I'm going to briefly express or share with you how it all started, what was really the driving force, what made me pick up a subspecialty like shoulder or knee. As far as India is concerned, where are we now and what does the future hold for us? So as it was mentioned, I finished my training from an excellent orthopedic unit in Nair Hospital, which is well known across the country, with stalwarts like Dr. K.V. Chobal, Dr. D.D. Tanna, and Dr. C.A. Talwalkar and Dr. Lahiri. That was my foundation. And I finished my training somewhere in 1990. And then there was this burning itch, as all of us have. It was not just me, to learn something new, something different. and then bring it back, if possible, to my country. So everybody said that you have to go to England. That was easy to go. Language was not a barrier. So I made my way, as did everybody else, into England. And within 6 months, I identified one place where I thought, because I went on visiting while I was working in Kent, I went to visit a few center of excellence, and I went to this place which is adjacent to Cambridge and part of the peripheral hospital of Addenbrooke's at Cambridge, and it was called the Newmarket General Hospital. And there I ended up working with two stalwarts. One, Mr. David Dandy, who was a very, very well-known father of knee arthroscopy of United Kingdom. But to be honest with you, the real bonus, the real surprise was Christopher Constant. He is world famous shoulder surgeon, and the constant score of assessing the shoulder function is a norm today all over the world, wherever you publish or present. And I was really amazed that after having passed from one of the leading institutes in Mumbai, being a lecturer at KEM Hospital, and when I ended up with this unit in Newmarket, my ego was crushed. I was a medalist from Bombay. Why was my ego crushed? Because forget assisting, I had not even seen the surgeries that Mr. Constant was doing at that time in 1991-92. They were open shoulder surgeries, but had never seen them in spite of being from Mumbai. And that really shook me. And I realized that perhaps this is what I should learn, master, and then take it back home. And that was the beginning of the journey of shoulder surgery. And once I got the basics with Christopher Constant and the top other two leading shoulder surgeons across the United Kingdom in the form of Stephen Copeland from Reading and Professor Angus Wallace from Nottingham. And I made a good relationship with them. I went and visited them while I was working with Constant. I published, I presented. This is our paper in the international meeting in Paris. You can see that in 1992. And believe you me that every single journal at Cambridge Library on the upper left-hand side corner would have a tick mark made by me that I've gone through all the shoulder articles ever published in that 1.5 years. Finally, I went to the Mecca of joint replacement surgery, which is Charnley Center, and I learned replacement surgery over there. And you will be also surprised that until 1993-94, while I was in England, nowhere was shoulder arthroscopy being done, operative shoulder arthroscopy. Even my boss, Christopher Constant, did only diagnostic shoulder arthroscopy. So the hunger, the desire to learn even more took me to Germany. My arthroscopy guru is Professor Peter Habermeyer. He has been the president of the European and the German Shoulder Society. He is truly a crown king in arthroscopic shoulder surgery. And I spent a long time with him training in operative arthroscopic shoulder surgery. 1994, I returned to Mumbai with this passion of establishing shoulder surgery. And I put up this board. It exists even today outside my clinic. And you won't believe, some well-wishers of mine, as soon as I put up this board, came and met me. Sanjay, are you mad? That means if you have a patient who has a wrist fracture, should not come to you. Do you realize you will starve of hunger if you do only shoulder and knee? I said, no, this is what I am trained. This is what I like doing. And this is what I shall do no matter what. And the rest is history. So the first thing I realized is there was no shoulder surgery existing in India. All was just frozen shoulder, exercises, painkillers. That's it. Nothing more than that. And perhaps my colleague, senior colleague Ram Prabhu will endorse that. So I thought it's a long uphill task. My first job is to educate the country that so many things in shoulder can be diagnosed accurately and can be treated successfully. So we formed the Shoulder Society of India with some like-minded people. Dr. David Rajan from Coimbatore and Professor Devados, who was the past president of Indian Orthopedic Association, who's from Madurai. We got together way back in 1996, 25 years ago, and formed the Shoulder Society of India. And from then on, we conducted hundreds of workshops, live demonstration surgeries, CMEs, of course, with the help of visionaries like RS Gadgil, and it continued. This was my lifeline, these two bags. They are special bags. I used to carry my shoulder equipment and operate in 8 different states of the country. I was out either lecturing, doing live demonstration surgeries to train others, to educate others, to expose others to shoulder surgery, or just going and treating patients or friends who are having hospitals in various parts of the country. And effectively, I was traveling 26 out of 52 weekends. And there is this joke, if you see these bags look special, they are vacuum bags, which means if I'm flying and the plane crashes, I may or may not survive, but the bags and the equipment will survive. And my wife, Neeti, always used to tease, what are you going to do with these bags if you're not there? But I said, they are very dear to me. No matter what happens to me, that equipment has to survive. This operating in different states was a very successful business module. And I'm sure Shri R.S. Gadgil would also endorse that, because the colleague orthopedic surgeon in a town, in a tier 2 city in India would gather 8-10 cases. He is happy because I'm going down from Mumbai and doing 10 cases in his hospital. The patient is happy because he feels he doesn't have to travel to Bombay and incur the expenses and the trouble of traveling with family members. And I'm happy because I get to do so many cases at a time. So it was a very successful win-win situation. It worked. And I did it for many, many years, almost 20 years. And this is where we are now. Shoulder Society of India is a very robust, very active, dynamic society with 1,000 members. We have more than 3,000 members of the Indian Arthroscopy Society, of which I was the president 2 years ago. And we are conducting a very regular, very strong academic program throughout the year across the country, several meetings, and now running a very popular shoulder fellowship program, which has a waiting list of almost 2 years. This is the highly successful 1,200 attendees at the Indian Arthroscopy Society annual meeting in Mumbai. And I must admit and confess and appreciate that wherever I am today, it was possible only because I had the chance, the opportunities to stand on the shoulders of giants from UK, Europe, and many more across the globe. The gentleman you see on the left is Christian Gerber. He is, you can say, the crown king of shoulder surgery across the world. And on the right is the president of American Arthroscopy Society of North America, Jeff Abrams. They are all here dancing away with Ritik in Mumbai in 2017. And it was then that I was elected as the president of the Asian Shoulder and Elbow Association, extending from Japan to Australia, all the countries covered. And that was a moment of great pride because it was my dream to put Shoulder Society of India and the shoulder work being done in India on the international map. And it did happen. But truly speaking, this is for all of us in India. The real achievement is your contribution to the subject, which means publications. So I've been striving hard to inculcate this culture in myself and in my junior colleagues who work with me. And here are some of the end result of the publications, international journals, some of the top journals such as Arthroscopy Journal from United States. Some more publications. And the last one was in the lockdown period of March 2021 published, the top journal, the first ranked journal, and the first article in that, which has created a lot of noise across the world. Now, I chose to do arthroscopy. I chose to do shoulder surgery, which is quite different from what Professor S.K. Mathur does or Dr. Bhatkande does, because they are life-saving specialties, whereas arthroscopy or shoulder surgery is a more of a quality of life, lifestyle-related field of medicine. So it is different. And each of us choose to do what we do. You also chose to be part of this webinar organized by Rajashri, the RSG webinar, and share your experience and knowledge. But I wonder how many of us realize that it is only human beings who have the ability to choose. Think carefully, the statement highlighted in yellow. Only human beings have the ability to choose. And I will ask all my learned colleagues a very simple question. To understand and appreciate this human ability to choose, why can't a tiger choose to eat grass? Today I'm fed up of eating meat, I want to eat grass. Or why can't a cow choose to eat meat today? Have you ever thought about this? We all are men and women of science. But it's very hard to understand and explain. And I will make an attempt to help you understand with my little knowledge of our Hindu Vedas. To understand this human ability of choice of action, you go back to thousands of years before Christ, the Hindu scriptures, the Vedas, and they say that the living beings are broadly divided into three: plants, animals, and human beings. The plants have a body, animals have a body and a mind. Animals have a mind. If you have a pet dog, when you come home, he starts licking you all over. He's happy, he loves you, and he expresses that. So he has a mind. But it is only the human being who has the body, the mind, and the intellect. This intellect in our Vedas is termed as buddhi, and it is different from intelligence. And I will try to explain to you. The mind has faculties of love, hate, like, dislike. I like you, I don't like you, I desire this, I desire a Mercedes, then I desire a Rolls Royce, then I desire an aircraft. So the mind is constantly changing, it's wavering, and it's compared in the Vedas to the monkey. In fact, the mind is beautifully described as fire. Why fire? Because any amount of stuff you put in the fire will never be satisfied. It will consume it. So is the mind. Any amount of demand for this or that will never satisfy you. It will in fact consume you. You will never be happy unless you develop your buddhi, which is intellect. What are the faculties of intellect? Ability to reason, to question, to rationalize, and use logic in everything that you do, in everything that you choose. I'm not saying that don't make money. I'm not saying don't buy a Mercedes. Yes, you can buy it, but reason it out, rationalize it, logisticate your wants and your needs. And for that, you need buddhi. And because of this buddhi, it is only human beings who have a choice of action. A lot of you, as Rajashri put it earlier in her talk while introducing me, put up these so-called high-profile clients. And maybe some of them tend to call me the celebrity surgeon because I've treated all these people and perhaps many more. But I disagree. What is so high about their profile? Is it because they are powerful? And it is very sad that today powerful means the ability to harm, whereas actually powerful means the ability to do good and not the ability to harm. United States is powerful because it can harm anybody. Whereas the fact is, Mahatma Gandhi was powerful because he had the ability to do good and not to harm. And this reflects the fall in the values of life due to the fall in the human buddhi or intellect. Are they high profile because they are high net worth? Not at all. Money may be your strength, but it is not my weakness. Then who is high profile according to me? This girl here is a real high profile girl. She is from Karnataka. Let me give you a little anecdote in short. About 15, 16 years back, a blind father walks in with this girl and says, I've come from Karnataka. She is a right arm off spinner, plays for the state of Karnataka. She has a dislocating shoulder, and I have come all the way because I only want you to treat her and make sure that she is able to go back to bowling. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, this is India. 15 years ago, a blind father encouraging his girl child to continue pursuing sports such as cricket. This is a high celebrity. This is truly a celebrity for me. And this is the new India and the girl power. This lady here, who I treated, is an Olympic champion after delivering twins. She is high profile. This gentleman who I operated, you'll be surprised, ex-captain of the United Kingdom cricket team, Mike Brearley, to get a shoulder function to perfection is high profile to me. To me, these are high profile because a high profile should be one who challenges the ability or the limits of medical profession. And even today, it makes me nervous. The real pressure is to provide 100% result by stretching the limits of surgical ability. And that's what makes these patients high profile. And performing 100% every single day, every single time, every time you operate and enter the operation theater is not easy. You need discipline of the mind and discipline of the body. To achieve that, for my younger colleagues, I will share the Vedic knowledge that little I have. The secret to success: concentration, consistency, and collective endeavor. 3 C's. What is concentration? I'm sure all of you must have told your children that, oh, you concentrate, you're not concentrating. And if the child asks you, what is concentration, daddy or mommy? You wouldn't know, probably. Concentration, according to Vedas, is ability of the intellect. Ability of the intellect or buddhi to prevent the mind from slipping into the worries of the past and anxieties of future. To be able to focus on what you're doing at that particular moment is concentration. Consistency. All efforts should be directed for the same purpose, shoulder, 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 day in and day out. And the nature helps you understand how consistency helps. Look at hydropower or wind energy. If you direct all the water flowing in one direction, you get hydropower. If you direct all the wind in one direction, you get wind energy. So nature is giving you the clues of how consistency, working single-mindedly in one direction, will give you power. And of course, collective endeavor. This is my favorite one-liner. What is teamwork? When 2 people make noise in rhythm, noise becomes music. When 2 surgeons work in rhythm, science becomes art. This is collective endeavor or teamwork. So let us all try and apply our fantastic knowledge in the Vedas, which is not there in any Harvard or Oxford or Cambridge, and try to develop our buddhi or intellect. And let us try and apply it to shoulder surgery. The world, because Ram is there and there are some orthopedic surgeons watching, the world said that in dislocating shoulder, if the bone is lost in the glenoid, soft tissue surgery will not work. And suddenly the world comes out with the same soft tissue surgery on the humeral side. Illogical. This is a little technical, so I won't deliberate too much on it. And therefore, I disagree with the international community. Here are some cases. Look at this. The world has been doing plating for fractures, complex fractures of the proximal humerus. Ram must be having even more experience. And they all fail. Majority of them fail. Look at this, failed. And look what happened with this revision into a hemi, which got infected, and she was almost going to lose her arm until I did a reverse shoulder replacement. So I have to admit that there is a problem with the current methods of fixation of proximal humerus fractures. We need to innovate. This is an orthopedic registrar. He fell off a motorcycle on a Sunday morning. Dr. Joshipura called me, Sanjay, where are you? Come, our registrar has broken his shoulder. And I operated, I reduced it, I fixed it without any metal. And the great Dr. Joshipura pushed me, don't you want to put any metal? I said, no, sir, only anchors. And look at the result. We need to innovate. This man has 100% shoulder function. He's a practicing orthopedic surgeon, and this video is more than 15 years old, and he has full shoulder function. Another example, a very badly smashed proximal humerus fracture. Most people would do a plating and it's doomed to fail. He had a vessel injury as well. I called the vascular surgeons, they put a graft, and look what I did. A completely new, innovative concept. It's an intraosseous device, and look at its function. So what I'm trying to tell you is that we need to rationalize, evaluate. Here is another example of a smashed proximal humerus fracture, shoulder replacement done. Look at the result again. This man likes to play cricket and he continues to play. He met me just 2 months ago. And this is more than 15 years follow-up, playing cricket. So ladies and gentlemen, shoulder has advanced tremendously. It's one of the fastest growing specialties in the world of orthopedics across the globe. Look at the variety of shoulder replacements. It's surpassed hip and knee. You have surface replacement, you have stemless replacement, you have anatomic total shoulder replacement, you have reverse shoulder replacement when the rotator cuff is gone. Here are some examples of the most latest cutting edge surgery being done here in Mumbai as we talk. The future growth of shoulder surgery will depend on how all of us develop the culture to publish if we want to compete with the advanced nations. And of course, we need to innovate to reduce cost. I end my talk with another one-liner. I'm not an arthroscopist because I cannot see pain through the arthroscope. And all this wouldn't have been possible without the three beautiful ladies in my life, my life, my two daughters, and Neeti, my wife, whose unending support in helping me do what I want to do. It wouldn't have been possible without three of them. Thank you once again, and thank you, Rajashri.
Thank you very much, sir. I actually am spellbound with your talk, and every word I'm still trying to ruminate on it. But the last slide is what I can only call upon. And she kept saying, "No, do not call me on the screen." But we do want Dr. Neeti Desai, Niva is here, Tanvi is here. We want them on the screen while you actually receive the award. And I would definitely want Dr. Mathur to be on the screen again. Bear with us while we technically add them together to actually give you the award. We also want Dr. Ram Prabhu on the screen.
Oh. Sanjay, really spellbound. And I'm very impressed because when you talked about Vedas, it touched my heart. I've talked about the Vedic wisdom. It is something which I think we all should cherish, memorize, and perpetuate. Because that's what some people think that it is a taboo to talk about the Vedas in the today's world, in the scientific world, which is not that's what you have proven. Your Excellence, of course, I told you how you treated my wife's shoulder without any surgery. And this was long back, long back, when you have just returned, I think in a few years after that. And she is still fine. So what you talked about, what is today's theme, what the Rashti has instituted is wisdom and action. So you are a combination of both. And congratulations for all the work, all the knowledge. And I'm sure that what you said, the publication is most important to make the world aware what you are doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Dr. Ram Prabhu, did you want to add?
Yeah. So very, very impressive talk, Dr. Sanjay Desai. I'm really proud that I'm from the same fraternity. And in fact, you talked about the celebrity. I would say that they are celebrity because they have been treated by you. So the celebrities should be honored that they can say tomorrow that I have been treated by Dr. Sanjay Desai. And that is the real taste. And that's how they become celebrity. And I'm glad that your whole family here today to share your honors. Dr. Neeti, of course, I don't know them well, but at the same time, I heard about them. So I'm glad that you are getting this honor in presence of your family. And that itself is a great honor. I congratulate the whole family, Dr. Neeti Desai, daughters Tanvi and Neva, and of course, for whatever the achievement that you have done during your illustrious career, and you really and truly deserve it. I know you for last almost 35 years. Before you had actually, in fact, I remember the day you had gone after your passing your MS to UK. And after you came back, the same day you met me, and you had told me that this is what you have learned and this is what your passion is, and this is how you go ahead. And I, I remember encouraging you to do that, because that was a very tough decision to do only shoulder and knee, because that was not something, it was super specialty that time. And this is something which you pursued, you continued that with all the passion and hard work, and you have really succeeded. So now there is no person in whole of India, and perhaps in Asia, who has a shoulder problem and who doesn't know you. And I think that's a great achievement that you have done. And I'm glad that I know you as my colleague. I'm glad you have really reached the zenith, and I'm sure that you will do that in future also. And we'll also hear so many things in future. And all the celebrities will again would love to come to you, that we would like to treat you and become celebrity. And that will be your real taste. Thank you very much, Sanjay. And I really enjoyed your talk. I learned few things about Vedas, and I learned quite a few. That shows that you have become philosophical now, and that also shows that from orthopedic you are slightly turning your interest into Vedas and a little bit of philosophical. So thank you very much, Sanjay, for your great talk. And Rajeshri, I'll hand over this thing. And I would request his family also to say a couple of sentences in his other aspects of arthroscopy, orthopedics, and medicine.
Totally. And it's Father's Day, so we are really happy that Niva and Tanvi were able to join in as well. And I believe they're not in India, so it must have been difficult for them to join in as well. But please, three of you, please go ahead saying a few words at least.
Thank you, Ms. Rajeshri, for honoring my father on this special day, on the occasion of Father's Day. So here are a couple of words for our dear father. While most of you may know of his skill as a renowned surgeon, few of you may know his skill as a father. His never say die attitude goes behind the OPD, ensuring that me and Niva have got the best education and opportunities. And he has always instilled the obsession for perfectionism and discipline in all of us. So all our successes are really a product of his philosophy to settle for anything but the best. So happy Father's Day, Dad. My sister joins me from Cambridge. Life has taken a full circle and now she's at Cambridge right now. So this was truly special. Thank you, Ms. Rajeshri Gadgil once again. Thank you.
Would Niva or Dr. Bhiti Desai want to say anything?
Yeah, over to you, Rajeshri.
Okay, so you don't want to say anything. You did tell me that. Okay, great. So
I just wanted to interject and just say that all the way from the UK, that for me, as what Tanvi said about his skill as a father is that whether it's, I'm not in the medical field, I'm studying law, but whichever field it is, whether he has, the highest level of knowledge or he's completely new to it, his advice and his support is unending and exhaustive. And for that, we are so grateful.
Well, I would end his award received by saying Happy Father's Day to him, because that's what I can really say, sir. You're too huge for us, but we can always be like your daughters, wishing you more and more milestones and more patients get cured by your excellence is what we will wish, sir.